Hey guys, we got to get down to the bottom of this. I have pushed this live back since yesterday about 3 times. I've been busy the last 48 hours between pushing out content, trying to stay current, and also doing things around the house. Now, I am so tired, but I said I'm going to go live today. I just got finished having this man do some things in my kitchen. And when I was straightening up, there was something that was not done correctly. And he has to come back, I think, tonight, or hopefully he'll just call me and say tomorrow, because I'm just like, I don't want nobody in my house around me right now. I just want to talk to my people about this BS that's going on with this Shamar's money being missing and keep it moving. So there's a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of due diligence I'm doing on the back end because this is not sounding right at all. I don't know if this is a case of the new boyfriend being at the wrong place at the wrong time, and because the public knew that he was coming into town, he was the scapegoat to whoever was plotting on getting this money from Shamar. Or just like the title reads, busted. Shamar involvement in the burglary exposed. And the reason why I say that is, did Shamar just find out maybe somebody counted all of his money and he doesn't have 60,000 or 55,000, or whatever left? He might have $1,200 left from people skimming off the top, and maybe going in his safe when he loses his key, or just a dozen of ways that they're getting access to his money. We all know that when Alvo used to go on his bookings, he would count his money because Shamar doesn't know how to count. So we know that he's not an honest person and he's a clout chaser. Anyone that's a clout chaser is going to take the opportunity to skim off the top and buy Airbnbs and all that and say it's their supporters that are paying for this, when we know that's farther from the truth. And I try to put you guys up on game with that, and you guys had to learn the hard way that what I was saying, what it was. Hold on one second, because I gotta see. So anyways, I don't know if he's coming back today or not. But anyways, to make a long story short, I'm sorry, I was reading the text real quick to see if the guy was coming back today or tomorrow. I can't even see where the message starts or begins because I'm so busy trying to multitask. But something's not right. The last video I put up, and you should see that about 7:30. It doesn't sound like somebody robbed Shamar. It sounds like a new boo in Shamar's life, and they're having a lover's quarrel. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you can't for like less than 24 hours be spazzing out saying somebody stole your safe and $60,000 in your safe, and now you're going back and forth about how he's been disrespecting you, Avery, in your face with another ninja. I think I would be more focused on the money more so than the relationship, especially him being somebody that's new to Shamar. And then another thing, and I want to hear your response to this because nobody has been talking about this, and this is what's making this really tricky for me. Why is Seven inserting herself in this, position of taking money out of her own pocket to make sure that Avery, the one that's being allegedly accused of taking a whole safe full of money, why are you making sure that he gets back home? And then on top of that, he needs extra money on the back end because he realizes he was short, and you give him that. I think it was $200 that he asked for. Why is Seven giving that kind of money to someone that Shamar doesn't know, just met online, and as soon as he came into town, all of a sudden the safe is gone with the money? And even when Alvo was in the picture, that stuff wasn't even happening. Now, was Alvo stealing money? Of course. But to this extent, Nah, somebody was doing too much. Let's not make this Alvo's fault, everyone. Hey, Genty. Let me see. Is these comments? This is comments from yesterday. So let's get current with this. Because I know people are like, she's not even answering me. So let's get real current with this because these comments, a lot of them, and I want to say, even if they're not here, thank you for leaving them. Let me get there. Let's get current with it. Hey, Paris Evans. It's hello, chat. Hey, Shanita. Donna Thomas. Who puts a camera at a front door and not the back? Right. Right, Donna. Exactly. So, there's a lot of things that are very questionable to me that's being said out of Shamar's mouth. And then also what's questionable is the girls, I mean, they be having IG popping. They be doing their little IG, for up on the platform, having conversations, whether they're arguing or getting along, walking down memory lane or whatever. They're on IG all day, every day. And, it just went quiet right around the time Shamar's money came up missing, and I'm not understanding what's up with that. And I think the only one, and like I said, until I hear further notice about what happened to the money, I will give shout out to Messy Dog credit that he's been, to me, one of the responsible parties trying to do his due diligence and research and trying to crack down on who potentially could have took Shamar's safe and his money. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely an inside job. It's definitely someone that knows Shamar. It's definitely someone that smiles in Shamar's face and is capable of stealing the money. Now, we already can go down a list of everybody who has been accused of stealing it. Kay, Alvo, Tommythegossip, the girls. When I say the girls, I'm talking about Messy Doll and what's his name? I can't even think of his name right now. LaShawn. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's being blamed. But the only thing that makes me feel as though the new boyfriend had something to do with the theft is because it just don't make no sense. You might not bring all your belongings to Shamar's house, but why don't you even have a set of clothes for the next day when you're going out of state and you're from New York? And right when the incident happened, the next day you're trying to go back to New York and then come back with clothes. None of that makes any sense. That really makes you a suspect. That's how people end up being suspects too, because their stories don't correlate. They don't make any sense. They don't add up. So yeah, I really honestly think that, hey, listen, it's very possible the boyfriend has something to do with it, and better yet, he might not know the individuals on top of that he could have did this crime with. It could be people that are not even Avery's friend. It could be people that were once upon a time Shamar's friend, and Avery knows how they feel about him, and he looked at it like, yeah, let's band together, man. Let's get this money. We're all on the same page. We think that Shamar's slow, and we're gonna run game, and we're gonna get this money. And if we all band together, and I don't even know you, I know you're Shamar's people, or you once upon a time with Shamar's people, they'll never know it's the perfect crime. You've been putting in the work with the back-to-back yes, player. I've been trying, and I have another video too that I was gonna put out today, but it's getting too late in the day. I don't know what's going on with this worker that's supposed to be coming to do what he was doing on my island table in my kitchen. He's gonna have to fix something that he didn't put in correctly. It came undone, so I don't know if he's coming back here tonight. So because I'm not sure of that situation. I'm just going to put that out early tomorrow morning. The last footage I got from early morning, we're talking about 1, 2, 3 in the morning. These jokers were up and they was at each other's throat, and I caught everything. So there's one video that I did not put out. It's about 20 minutes. It's probably less than that because I did a lot of edits on it. But I will be putting that out tomorrow, and that'll be the last piece of content that is updated to the community from what happened from early this morning when you guys were still sleeping and it was dark out. It was early morning. All the videos that you see me putting up today are from today. I think the very first video I put out earlier, the very first one I put out, it was from late last night before midnight. But every other video after that, the second, the third, the fourth videos that I've been putting out today are from early morning today on the 28th, and they were up and they was at it, and it was crazy. Shamar has a really weird time of going live. I do it sometimes too, because I couldn't sleep last night, and I should have just went live. I should have did the live that we're on now. I should have just did that at 1 or 2 in the morning. Only thing is, they would have been live. I would have been recording it. I wouldn't have been able to just record them live because they were just cussing and carrying on too bad. And then I would have to edit that live. I didn't feel like doing all that. It says that's exactly what it is the wrong place at the wrong time. It's all the scheme. The man didn't have anything to do with it. And I believe that. Yeah, wrong place. That's what I was saying. It could be a thing of he's at the wrong place at the wrong time. Everybody knew he was coming into town. Shamar doesn't like keeping too much a secret. So they used him as the scapegoat. So, I don't know what to say for this dude. But I don't think that Shamar's gonna be with him. And I really think at this point that Shamar thinks that he did take the money. But at the same time, I don't want to guess too much because he could have been the one that took the money. Because my gut is saying that he did. And then my gut's saying that it's definitely, if it isn't him, it's somebody in the circle. And then my gut's also saying that it could be a thing of Shamar had that money counted and realized that a lot of his money is gone. And he doesn't know how to articulate himself a lot of times. So it could be coming across like he's making us think that somebody literally went into a safe or stole his safe and took his money, rather than explaining, listen, I don't really know how to count really well. I thought I had X amount of money saved away and it's extremely low. And I want to know, what happened to it. And then he would have to backtrack. One being, when he was with Alvo, how much it's a guessing game because you'll never know how much Alvo was skimming off the top when he was with you. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I keep saying that, he needs to be alone. He really needs to be alone. But you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. He doesn't like to listen to anything. I've been trying to get on him, behind the scenes, even about his YouTube channel. I really think that if he could pipe down on the cussing, and he's definitely naturally going to be consistent with live streaming on YouTube. When these things occur, yeah, you can be really upset about it because that's 60,000. But we see that Shamar knows how to save his money. He won't spend no money if he ain't got to. So him having another income stream on YouTube, I don't think that blow would have really affected him like it is right now, because he would have a big monthly check coming in every month because he loves social media. He could sit on live a couple of times a day and make a big bag. And right now, if he was monetized, he would be able to replace that money within a month or two, between his gigs and, getting at least 2 full month checks from YouTube. But see, Shamar has to make, if it ain't rough, it ain't right. He doesn't like to listen. So that's why he ends up the way he always ends up, which is all messed up in the game. You said thanks for busting out the case. Hey, Amber. Shamar's mental capable. Y'all are wrong. Is declining. I couldn't even say it. Oh my God. I always hit the like button. Thank you, Amber Woods. He's still partying. Money or not, he has too much mouth and he disrespects to not have a real security system. Well, I thought that he had cameras on both doors myself. You know, if I think that if I would get cameras on, unless my back door was a door, unless I didn't have a back door, put it like that. Because you'll be surprised how many people live in apartment buildings and they don't have back doors. But if you have one, it makes sense, especially in his situation, knowing that he put that kind of money in his house. I would have been not only protecting myself, but that money. Because the only other way money is going to be protected is putting it in the bank. And he can't put it in the bank because he's on Social Security. Hey, Queen Grandma. Shamar wouldn't know because he doesn't know how to count. Shamar needs to try to go back to school or get tutored. Yep, exactly. Hello, Latanya. Pretty little boy. That's so weird to me with 7. I know it. That's, oh my God. Thank you for bringing that back up. What do y'all don't put a 1 in the chat if you think that's kind of strange that 7 was going out of her way with her own money to make sure this dude got on this flight. And when he said he needed money for something else that he was short with, she gave him $200. Why is she funding him this kind of money and she don't know him? He's a stranger. You can't make me believe, especially if she got common sense, that you're doing it on the strength of Shamar, because the way Shamar was talking was like he didn't even understand why 7 was doing that for him. So it doesn't make no sense. None of it does. Hold on 1 second so I can drink some water. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. This 7 stuff is insane. Yep. Yes, SL, you know it all in a person. The top of Shamar knows he stays in the bathhouse. Right. It's a lot of money to lose, though. That's some crazy work. I'll tell you that much. Weird, she gave a stranger some money to go home. Right. Not only did she pay for his plane ticket, she even gave him $200 that I don't know how much he asked for, but she gave him $200. And then Shamar turned around and said, and I asked him for $100. And he gave him $100 of what 7 gave him. So who got the money is what I'm asking. Because it's not, let's make it make sense. Because I'm not giving my friend's boyfriend money for nothing. Exactly. It don't make no sense. Hello, SL Davis. $1 million question. Where is the police investigation? Kind of sketchy to me. Right. That is a good question. Because 7 gave him the money because he gave her more money. She just gave him back some of the money that he gave her. Well, wait a minute, back up. Why was either one of them giving each other money? And they're both strangers to each other. You know, they're giving money back and forth to each other then like they know each other. So what's up with that? I don't understand people who don't see anything that's kind of sketchy about that. Make sure y'all hit that like button on the way in, because I'm so busy running my mouth because, like I said, this unanswered questions, and it's sad. You know, it's a lot of questionable things. You know, and I never would have thought that 7 would be part of the questionable things. That is very questionable what that lady did. And why is she inserting herself in the middle of all this mayhem? Seven probably holding some of Shamar's money. I believe Shamar put that safe somewhere else. Please come on how he acting. That's what I said too, Toby Warner. That's why I was just saying. I don't know if you just came in here. I said, well, I said tonight I got another live going, not a live, a premiere going out, and it just sounds like a lover's quarrel. It don't sound like somebody that just lost $50,000 to $60,000 in the safe. He just sounds too calm now. Yeah, he was going off yesterday, and he was going off a little bit in the early morning of today on the 28th, but he still ain't going off enough for me. For someone that got that much money taken. Hey, LaTanya. DJ. Yeah, that's crazy. I don't think Avery did it point blank. Wasn't worried about that money until you said Jamar. I'm like Jamar, but I know Shamar wasn't worried about that money until time to gossip and something about him. You said him being at a cookout dancing with the eight. Oh, I think that was that LaShawn's thing, because LaShawn had that on his live on IG yesterday. Didn't he have some red pants on and white sneakers? So LaShawn went and picked him up. Who did Seven meet first, LaShawn or Messy Doll? That's a good question. You got me. I'm stumped. Marquetta. Alvo did say that Avery was contacting him months ago. Did Avery finish what Alvo started? Right. He could have. I hate when Alvo says, even if it is true, oh, he was trying to talk to me first. He thinks he is the God's gift to women. Like he's the best looking brother on this earth. And you're not. And like my mother used to always tell me, when a person has an ugly personality, it makes them ugly on the outside. And as I got older, I know exactly what that means now, because he is ugly on the outside. He's because of how his attitude is on the inside. He said he's not coming back, Miss Davis, because he said Shamar accused of stealing. Yeah, I heard him when he said Michael Butler. I recorded everything in every live that was put up early this morning. Only one I didn't put up, I think you may have just came into the live, was the last one that they did, and then I guess they took their butt to sleep early morning this morning. And I'm not putting that one up until tomorrow. Some of y'all may have even saw it on other channel holders pages that were up at that time. But I'm too tired to be trying to put it up. It'll go up tomorrow. It ain't a race for me. I feel like Seven is in on it. I think so too. And I hate to say it, because let me not say because she seems to be so quiet, because those are the ones you gotta watch. Because that's his apartment. He can put his camera anywhere he wants to. Oh boy, here we go with this. Don't come on up in here with the getting all offensive, because it seems like when I'm not in agreement with Shamar, then we get the peanut gallery trying to defend Shamar and trying to attack me, and then when I'm trying to defend Shamar, then we got the peanut gal. It's like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Yes, I made another live. Hi all. I wait to hear from you. Have a blessed day, SL Davis. Hey Nisha, how are you, sweetie? Messi and LaShawn is definitely has something to do with it. It says, I'm starting to think it's all a lie. I hate to say this too, but I've been trying to keep, what if this is just all a lie? But I don't know. It's just, I don't know. I just feel like the way Shamar reached out to me, like I told many of you, way before it hits the vlogs and the blogs. He reached out to me at a little bit after 7 a.m. that morning. I didn't get back to him until 3 something in the afternoon. prior to me going live a couple of days ago. Well, a day and a half ago. However, he was going off for maybe a good 20 hours. And now it's like it's simmering down. I don't think that I could be calm with somebody taking that kind of money. I'm sorry. Hey, Frederica. Hey, SL. And it said, and 𝗪𝗛𝗧𝗖𝗛 said he will. He said, wait a minute. You said, hey, SL. And 𝗪𝗛𝗧𝗖𝗛 said he will on me. Will what on you? 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪 played a big part in this because he left the back door unlocked. 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪 told me on live he will rob me. What? You're lying. Frederica. Nubu and 7 did it. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised because I don't know why 7's up there acting like she's some big baller, giving strangers $200 for their pocket and making sure that she helps cover their flights. He will be back soon than he thinks. And leave after the incident. That's suspicious. That's what I was saying too. Why would he leave talking about, well, I'm not bringing my clothes to a situation until, I feel it out. But right, that's cool. But at least bring a couple of outfits. Don't just go to another state with the same clothes on. And then when you wake up the next morning, you got to go back to New York and go get some more clothes. You don't even got no money to get on the plane to go back to Buffalo, New York. You had to get help from 7. So why would you even plan doing that like that, Avery? To me, it feels like he was ready to leave after that money came up missing. Somebody set him up, Queen Grandma. He probably was planning on robbing him and going straight back and didn't bring clothes. Right, exactly. That makes more sense than anything. Shamar staged the break in to keep that boy there, and he spent money he didn't have on him. Shamar just wanted the money back because but the thing is you got to remember that Shamar couldn't have staged it because the house was cleaned up prior to them leaving. And when they came back together, him and Avery was the one that noticed that the house was mangled up. He must have went into a part of the house that Shamar didn't go to yet for him to notice that the house was broken into. That's when he told Shamar, your house has been broken into. And Shamar went and looked at what he was talking about. And then that's when he discovered that they must have took his safe. Frederica 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪 told me that too before. Wow. Well, they're going to be in the bushes tonight. I hope I'm counting sheeps tonight. Nights when I can't sleep. Yeah, it's a great thing when I can catch these people because they go live at weird hours of the night in early hours of the morning. However, it's not every night that I can't sleep. So I got lucky last night and I was able to capture all of the conversations. Neighbors could have been watching his live. Make sure y'all hit that like button. I called 𝗪𝗪𝗧𝗪 out on his BS and he got mad and said he will put a gun. Oh, wow. I'm sorry to hear that, Frederica Zaddy. Yep, I believe it. I don't trust him and LaShawn. He was looking for Shamar to buy him clothes, and Shamar probably wasn't trying to buy him more clothes, and Shamar wasn't trying to give him money. So he probably said, forget it, Kay. And took everything, yep. Because now that I see that he's not as quiet as he appears to be, I can see this little ninja taking all of Shamar's money. No, let me just say this to you guys. he did take the initiative, Avery, to get onto a platform and tell a side of the story. But nobody's in the right mind. I'm sorry. Nobody is going to tell on themselves if they stole that kind of money. Maybe a couple of hundreds. You get tired of someone blaming you. You might say, the heck with it and say, yeah, I took it. But not that kind of money. Not that kind of money that's being allegedly taken out of that safe. Is there proof this even happened? Right. That's what we're all trying to figure out. Hey, oh God, I can't even talk today. Katina, how you doing, baby girl? Just a messed up situation. Oh, thank you, Nisha SL. I want to hear from you. So happy to make your live again. I would not leave my significant other while going through that lesson learned. Right, exactly, Nisha. Right. I hear you. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel, sweetie. Mwah. I'm wondering why when Shamar was talking to LaShawn, why was LaShawn asking how long it would take him to get home while he was in the ride? Yeah, a lot of people were questioning that too. Yeah. I just think it's sick and sad for all of them plotting and praying. I know that's the only thing I don't like. It's like, even if they're not all, I don't know. It just seems like right now everybody's plotting and praying on Shamar. And like I said, if he's no threat to you, it doesn't matter what anyone says out of their mouth. That is not warranted for anybody to do half of the stuff that's been done to Shamar. Period. If he's that bad, stay away from him. I'm wondering why when Shamar was talking to LaShawn. I already read that. Yeah, it's sad. And Shamar's got to also stop flaunting his money. We got to also be mindful of that too. He does that a lot. So, listen, I'm not going to stay on here too long. I just wanted to come and at least get this live done with. I am on the back end trying to do my due diligence offline to figure out who the bandit is. Okay, who is the money bandit? So I'm doing my due diligence on the back end, and once I find out, you guys will be the first one to know. So listen, I love y'all, and I want y'all to stay blessed. And I also want you to make sure you hit that like button on the way out. Love y'all, stay blessed, and I'm out. Mwah. Bye for now.